Hello everyone, this is Plankera, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. So, yesterday, I was messing around with the nose a bit, and overall I think they look pretty good. Just right now there's some weirdness around the head shadow layers, which is what, this stuff over here is. So, I started putting that into place yesterday, and I'm going to continue doing so today. Just taking a quick look around here. I want to make sure that I have everything adjusted correctly around the nose. The head shadows are mostly based around the nose and the cheeks. So those are the areas that I will be looking very closely at. I think I got the right turn looking pretty good, so gonna go back on over to the left and fix a couple of things that I saw there, although there actually aren't too many. It's mostly pretty good. I just saw a spot right there. This layer is a bit weird because there's lots of little fiddly transparent parts around, and if I bunch up the vertices too much, then things just kind of get a little bit weird in places. It's probably easier to see, like... no, there aren't any places where there's a lot of weirdness. Like, there's a little bit right here. But, for the most part, it's just things in the wrong place. So that's nice. But I remember yesterday I was looking down at this downward turn and was unsatisfied with a couple of little spots on her cheek there. It's subtle, but I see it very, very clearly when it's in motion, so I want to try to work it all out. Next time I handle shadows like this on a VTuber model, definitely have to think a little harder about how I want to cut it out and handle this kind of thing, because this is... it feels very strange. Oh right, there's one more thing that I wanted to look at on the left here. Just the way that this shadow under her nose was looking. I don't know, that still looks kind of weird. Let's see. But no, I think it's moving correctly. And then over on the right side, even though I like it, I didn't actually think that the top part of the shadow was covering or going under her nose quite right. That's right. I knew there was a reason I was looking at the right turn there, even though I mostly liked it. There we go. Yeah, that's a little bit better. And then here, the shadow's looking a little bit hard. And the way that I kind of diffuse it is by stretching out the vertices that are connected to it. So that would be these guys over here. See how much I'm able to. It's probably about the best I can do. I think that's okay. Yeah, that seems fine. Alright, back down here. I was just thinking about that because I was noticing that the shadow in this angle is a little bit off too. It reminded me, oh yeah, I meant to go fix that in a couple of other spots. Let's do that now before I forget again. And yesterday I got to have some fun with art. I've been working on developing the style that I want to use in my comic. I have a particular image in mind of... how do I describe it? In a lot of video games, there's this kind of art style that they use when discussing things from the distant past. of much more cut out, kind of stained glass looking style. And I wanted to try to do something similar, especially if I could figure out how to draw it very quickly. Because I thought that would be really cool for the general storyline and world that I have in mind for my comic. So I started trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, using an illustration of Plankera that I want to do. So I look forward to showing that off to you guys. I think it might take me a little while to fully figure out how I want to stylize everything. I'm gonna take my sweet time, really, really get in there and figure out how I want things to look. Very important. And something that I want to take as much time as I need to get right. I may not fully get it right in the first one, but at least I want to get it to the point where I can make a very nice illustration in a way that I think looks great. Even if it takes a few iterations to figure out what I want for the comic, because comic has a couple of other considerations, most of which is I need to be able to draw it fast. But even then, I want to be able to, I have to keep in mind like character designs and how I'm going to handle scenery and things like that that I just don't have to worry about in this particular illustration. But this will be the start. I'm very excited. I've been picking up reference materials and inspiration for a long time now. But now I think I actually do have a clear enough idea of how I want it to look that I can indeed draw it. It's a good feeling. And it was fun, kind of just exploring the ideas yesterday. Okay, so right now I'm trying to figure out the shadows kind of around the nose. Because there are some shadows around the nose and the head shadows too, you can see. Because that's kind of what lines the cheeks and stuff too. But I'm having a little bit of trouble figuring out what should be where, so I figure this is where I will go consult the mesh. See if it has any ideas for where I'm messing things up. And it does! The mesh is very smart. I always appreciate its commentary. Yeah, it's getting there. Let me just ask the mesh a few more questions here. We talk in triangles, so it's not something that I can really translate into vocal words that you can hear. But I assure you, I hear it loud and clear. Okay, I mean, there's still a lot of triangle squirming around there. You can probably see it, but I think I got the area around the nose the way I want. And that's what I was looking at. So, all worked out. Actually, I don't think her cheeks are looking too bad either. They're dropping a little bit more than I want it to over here. But this side, I think it's got it right. So I just need to clean things up around the nose a little bit more. The bottom of the nose this time instead of the top. Before I was just working on the top and yep. When I clicked the tool, it hit the vertex there. That happens sometimes. It's always funny when it does, because I just start trying to move stuff around and nothing is moving, no matter how hard I push. And sometimes it can be a little bit hard to tell at first. I am under the impression that the devs are remaking the UI somewhat. Or not the UI, but what the underlying code that makes up the UI, I guess. And the dev was not satisfied with how much delay there could be between grabbing the vertex and starting to move it around and when it actually starts moving. A little bit of lag there. But she is aware of the issue and is hoping that some of this underlying UI stuff that she's working on right now will help fix some of that. I really am looking forward to the next version. The stuff she's been posting about in Discord sometimes is very exciting. Alright, I think that's doing a bit better. I want to mess with the kind of bottom of the cheek there a little, just a little bit more. Just get that kind of overall shape about the same as it is in the original, in the center. But yeah, I think it's there. And indeed, yesterday I wanted to finish more, but I could tell that I was just getting too tired, and I wasn't seeing things right. So I just... I didn't. I stopped and decided that I was going to let my future self, not my present self, handle it, figuring that I would be able to, and indeed, all is well. Wasn't even that hard. Sometimes you really do just need a fresh brain to get back to things. It was the same thing with my style experiments yesterday. I kept trying some stuff, but could not figure out how to do this one part. And I was like, okay, I'll try again tomorrow. Understandable there, because I also did a weekly speed paint. I did it yesterday. And it actually went really, really well. Most of the time I'm pretty lax with my time limit, but yesterday I was like, you know, I have this other illustration that I really want to be working on, so I am going to hard limit myself to 1 hour. And it ended up taking closer to 40 minutes, which was pretty cool. Most of the time I think I end up taking closer to 90. And that was especially true during Inktober, which is where I kind of started developing the style that I did for yesterday's speed paint. I pretty much... Yeah, the time of limit that I gave myself for Inktober was different. I basically gave myself until the kids woke up, which probably would have been close to 2.5 hours. Depending on when I finished eating. So I was able to draw something that I thought looked pretty much on par with everything that I was doing for Inktober, if not slightly better, in less time, which was pretty cool. So I am speeding up. The speed paint practice is helping. But it is good to see. I kind of figured that I was, because while sometimes I felt like I was going slower and slower every week, when I actually went and looked at the pictures that I was drawing, they were all much more elaborate and detailed than the ones that I was doing in the past. Like, we're talking full color, half body stuff. As opposed to some of the just simple black and white stuff that I was doing during Inktober or various things like that. So, Yes, there were very clear signs to me that I was indeed speeding up. But it was nice to go back to that very specific style where I knew exactly how long it took me in the past. And just seeing stuff on equal quality done in considerably less time. It's working, just gotta get good. Get better. I'm working on it. Alright. I think we got good cheeks there. I'm still gonna leave the front bang off. I remember I took it off at some point because I had it misaligned somewhere and I don't remember where and I don't want to fix it yet. So I'm gonna worry about these other angles first. Do I dare unset? No, I think I'm just... This isn't that far off. I think I'm just going to, I'm just going to move things into place here. Huh. I didn't realize that I had the top of the nose here. Oh, right, of course. Because I had it fine here. Did I have it fine here? No, maybe I should check the noses one more time. Because, yeah, now that I can move completely up and down, I'm just like, oh, okay, maybe that's not quite right. Oh, no. Okay. Gotta go back to the noses for a little bit, then. Just double check those corners here. Let me see. How should this be? Okay, this is why we check things. Because I was gonna say, yeah, I have the nose right, it's just the head shadow's making it weird, and then I took another look at the nose, and I'm like, oh no. Okay, I think this is fine. Let me check the top one, too. Honestly, that seems fine to me, too. Yeah, that seems fine. Let's check over here now. I'm just gonna stare at it for a little bit. Hope that nose doesn't get too awkward with my intense staring here, but it must be done. Must be done so I can make the movement here just a little bit less awkward. Okay, I think this is mostly good. I want to adjust the nostril here just a little bit. I just wasn't entirely satisfied with how it was connecting to the bridge of the nose there, but I think this is okay. So I had to look at it sideways for a second. Just, This one, on the other hand, man, that upper right nose. It's been giving me more trouble. More trouble than I know what to do with. okay. Some angles are just troublemakers. Something kind of funny happened to me yesterday. I decided to go for a walk again, now that the weather is a little bit warmer. And I guess somebody in my neighborhood must be keeping chickens, because I just saw this little hen going out and pecking at the ground while I was walking, just casually strutting by the sidewalk. It was so funny to see. Just walking on a nice little nature path, and next to the fence by someone's house, I just see this little hen walking around like nothing's wrong. I wonder if she too was enjoying the sound of the water and all of the nice outdoor sights. I was gonna say the grass, but no, the grass is still very dead. Most things are still pretty dead. It's just starting to get a little bit warmer. It's definitely not spring yet. Not quite yet. It's not that warm. I'm actually still not sure if I'm going to be able to walk every day. That remains to be seen. And I guess, strictly speaking, even though I'd like to go for a walk more often, I might have enough stuff that I want to do in the morning, you know, with art and writing and all these other things that I'm doing, that I might not have time for a walk. See, past couple of days I needed some time for ideas to kind of percolate in my brain and work themselves out, and walks are great for that. No music, no distractions, just go out and stare at the sky. Great for getting ideas through your head. This way they're not distracted by anything, and at least for me, my mind just wanders all over the place, and it's fantastic. Even if I don't actually think about any of the artistic stuff that I'm working on, it at least lets me kind of clear out the trash, if that makes sense. Just stuff that's on my mind that I may not want to be thinking about, but for whatever reason it's in my head. And I just need to process all those thoughts, that this way more interesting ones can take their place eventually. So that's been nice. I'll be glad once the weather's a little bit warmer, and I can go out again and maybe see all the bunnies. That actually kind of reminds me of a funny story from, I want to say, last summer. I think it must have been around the time that all the bunnies in the neighborhood were having babies, because for whatever reason, there were a couple of there was a baby bunny in each of our window wells. And our window wells are quite deep. They go all the way down to the basement and act as a fire escape for them. So, you know, once the baby bunnies fell down there, they could not get out. And so I kept hearing these very scary, mysterious noises at night, when the baby bunnies would just try their very best to get out and just try to climb the window or on the side of the window well, and I just hear all these thumps, thumps. It was actually super scary at the time, because I had no idea what it was, and then I just go over, look out the window, and I see this baby bunny flailing in the window well. And we were able to get them out and release them into the backyard, where they just ran off and did their bunny thing. So, all was well there, but it was pretty interesting while it was happening. Felt kind of bad for the little guys. Mistakes were definitely made. I don't know how a baby bunny ends up in a window well, because I mean it's a pretty steep drop. I wonder if they got hurt with the fall that big. I mean, it was several times their size. So, but boy, were they sure energetic trying to get out. So I guess it couldn't have been that bad. My daughter's reaction to it was very, very cute, though. She was, no, it couldn't have been last summer. It must have been the year before, because she was younger. And we got the first one out while she was awake. So she got to see her dad go into the window well and, very gently and carefully pick up the baby bunny and put it outside. And I was like, look, Daddy's saving the baby bunny. And she was just like, whoa. It was so cute. Absolutely adorable. I'm not sure she remembers it now, but at the time I think it left an impression. Now that I think about it, there's a surprising amount of little animals roaming my neighborhood. Because I do see cats sometimes, of course, and the hen caught me by surprise. Was not expecting chickens here. I didn't even know we were allowed to raise chickens here. Oh yeah, lots of bunnies, lots of cats. There was a... Oh yeah, this is a good one. So, on Tuesdays I take my kids to the park. Or at least I try to, it's been too cold lately. And... oh man, it must have been I think this time it actually was last summer. This tiny little dog just followed us home. Oh man. It was cute. It just followed us home and wanted to be friends with my kids, and they absolutely loved it. They got to play with the doggy for a while, and eventually we had to go inside, and he couldn't come inside with us. He really wanted to come inside with us. Really, really wanted to come inside. But I didn't want to let him. My husband is allergic, so I didn't want a dog hair in the house because he'd probably have a bad time. I hit the vertex again. I did. Look at that little sneaky guy. Man, having to worry about 2 lines is very confusing here. I keep trying to line them up, but I sometimes look at the wrong one. Okay, I gotta be a little bit more deliberate with that then. Okay. Gonna stare at this very, very seriously, so I stopped going back and forth quite so much. But I kept mixing up one line with the other line. Okay, there we go. Now they look pretty unified. Okay, cool. Let's see here. How does it actually look on the tip of her nose there? The shadows, that is. I'm gonna look closely at the nose here. Yeah, I do think I have it right, or correct, on the left turn. I still hate that right can refer to a direction and whether or not something is correct. Very confusing. English is such a silly language. Okay, that looks alright. Now then, time to clean up the cheek here. Nope, we got a little crooked spot right there. Let me fix that first. I think there actually is supposed to be a very, very slight crooked spot. I think it goes the other direction though, because this one's... yeah, this one's turning back this way, where it's supposed to go straight this way, toward her eyes. There we go. Okay. Cheeks. Let's go. Oh my. Okay, let's organize this a little bit. I'm not sure if I'm gonna take the time to separate or correctly untangle all of the vertices here, because most of them are completely irrelevant. Just due to a vision that I had when I started rigging this that did not work out. Okay, there we go. Corners are wild. They really are. Sometimes I just look at them and I'm like, wait, what? What happened here? The mesh was so neat on all of my other directions, and then suddenly tangles. Suddenly everything's going 30 different directions, and I don't know what's going on anymore. Alright, that seems fine. So I want to go just finish all of the left turns here, because the left side is a bit more of a pain because the mesh here that controls most of the nice shadows gets compressed and it makes it harder to gradate things, so the left ones are just way harder. I just want to get them out of the way. I don't want to have to deal with it, and I think the right turns will be a nice breath of fresh air once I'm able to get the left ones done. So here's hoping they don't have too many surprises for me. My goodness. Alright, let's see here. I think I got the nose looking pretty good there. Let me just adjust the very top of it. And now I just need to get the cheeks to gradate nicely. You know, like I said, everything gets compressed over here, so it's a little bit harder to do that than it is on the right side. And that's exactly why I'm doing it first. I think I also need to get the cheeks in the right place, because right now it feels like they're way lower than they should be. Yes. Yes, indeed. The main thing that I use to determine where exactly the cheek should be starting is there's a slight little thing coming off the corner of her nose right here. And that's what I use to start the cheeks. It was so subtle that I didn't actually notice it at first. But when I started doing turns, I'm like, ah, yes. The shadow by the nose. That is a good thing to look for. Because I don't really notice it when it's still, but when it's moving and does not move to the right spot, I see it quite clearly. And it was very convenient. It was nice to be able to notice it. Because I think noticing it enhanced these cheeks quite a bit. Made the movement so much better. Okay, I need to consult the mesh on this one. There's a shenanigan happening over on her cheeks here. I want to try to figure out what it is. Might be that. Okay. I'm not sure if this will help, but I do notice that a lot of this stuff got slid downward, so I'm going to try to push it over here a little bit more. It's still going to be a bit of a mess, but I think that's okay. Just hopefully it won't be stretching the vertices on the edge of her face quite as hard. I doubt that's the only issue though, so let's go take a look again. Okay. You. Okay. It's still kind of subtle, but you can see here the line is much more noticeable. Much, much more noticeable than it has been on any other angle there. It looks like there's a very sharp cutoff compared to like what I have here, for example, where there's nothing. So those are the kinds of things that I'm trying to fix here. So all I can do is keep staring. Keep staring, keep trying some things, and hopefully someday it'll all just come together. Okay, I actually think that looks pretty good. Let me zoom out and check the movement one more time. Okay, little shadow on the side of her face, but that's actually easy to fix compared to all the shenanigans on her cheeks. There's just a little thing right over here. I'm gonna push that over just a little bit. I still see it on the part of her cheek right there. So we'll just slide this guy down just a little bit more. I wanted the darker shadows to be very, very thin on this turn. Alright, now we can look around again. Look around while I have Shalom look around. Alright, seems okay. I will worry about the eye sockets someday. Alright, let's get these turns. Okay, let's see. I still feel like these shadows are in kind of the wrong place here. Every time I zoom out, I just start autopiloting and want to go and move her head around. Even though I haven't actually figured out where all of these shadows should go on this turn, just statically. But I've been having to resist the urge to just move her head around. I at least want to figure out the ones around her nose before I start having her look around again. But I think we're getting there. Yeah. It's looking alright now. Oh, my scroll wheel's having a little bit of trouble again. Alas, I thought I fixed it. Alright, the shadow's a little bit too long still, but otherwise I think it's looking good. So I just need to scrunch things down a bit. I selected the vertex again. It's kind of annoying because these buttons don't actually stop you from clicking what's underneath them. If you've ever wondered why I scroll out so far, every time I want to change the size of the brush, it's because if I didn't, I would start deforming the mesh while I was changing the size of the brush. If I click on this while I have the brush selected, it would start moving what's ever there underneath that button. So I have to make sure that there's nothing there that I want deformed. That's another thing that I hope to see fixed when they do their UI upgrades. Alright, I think I have all the stuff in the right place. Now I just kind of have to start pushing things around to the cheeks. And I think I need to spread out those vertices a little bit more. Yeah, look at that. They want a wee bit more personal space. Oh, but then I pulled it off there. Oops. Okay, well, I can fix that. Let me see, there should be like some shadows on top of the nose now, but they're not there yet. Where'd they go? Where are they hiding? I guess I really did squish these together quite a lot. They're supposed to be a little bit spread out here. I'll just push these guys way far out. This is why my meshes get messy. It's fine. So now I'm heading back out to the cheeks and trying to get all of those in the right place. Once again, paying attention to that shadow in the corner of the nose. It's a very convenient shadow. It tells me everything I need to know. Whoa there. I'm not sure what happened. I think oh, it was autosave. And it just made everything lag hard. Okay. All is well then. Autosave is just here to help us out. Oh yeah, see how much easier this is when I actually want to spread the vertices out even more than I currently am. Just everything going into place with minimal effort here. And everything just looks so spread out and nice, and the gradient is very pretty. All these great things. It's very nice. And that's why I wanted to do the left turns first. I'm not quite sure if it's right around the nose there, but I want to see it in motion here. Not quite, but it's extremely close. Let me see, while I'm doing stuff on the face here, there's something about her eyelashes on this eye here. They're moving a bit too far over. Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, this seems alright. I think I'll leave it there for now. Well, do I like how it looks on her face there? It is... I think I can spread out the shadows a little bit more around the bottom of her cheek there. I think they might have gotten a little bit close together. I always love it when I start saying something and then just immediately change my mind. I am actually not being ironic there. It's one of the things that I've noticed when I started streaming art, in that when I start talking things out, like this, just narrating what I'm doing to myself here, I notice more things. I actually do. I've even started talking to myself more when I'm drawing off stream. Just because I do notice things. And it helps. Thinking again. Let's see. I'm not quite sure if the bridge of the nose is in the right place. Is it just head shadows that's causing that? It's mostly head shadows. Let me see if just fixing the head shadows a little bit more will fix the issue that I'm seeing there. It might not. I might need to adjust the nose itself too. Let us find out here. Let's see. Okay, good. It was just head shadows. Wait. Okay, so now we just have one corner left. And then I will have done a bunch of my face remakes. Her eyes... Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do some work with those, but I will do those some other time. I think I want to do some more work around the hair before I go back into the eyes. We'll see if the me of tomorrow agrees. She might not. Who knows? Fortunately, I can just do what I want. So let's kind of clean stuff up around the nose there. That'll be where things start. Okay, there we go. Not quite in the right place, but at the very least it's better than it was before. So, let's see here. This should be... I want to start with this one. This one should be closer to the edge of the lip there. The shadow is one of the easier ones to adjust, just because it's so obvious, compared to a lot of the ones here, which are very, very subtle and hard to see. Or I guess I should rephrase. It's hard to see when she's not moving. I personally still find them very easy to see when she is moving, which is part of what makes adjusting them a little bit of a pain. Still needs to be a little bit more shadow around the nose, but otherwise, I think it looks pretty good. Okay, and I need to fix something on this turn, actually. Just need to slide these top ones a little bit to the left, so that this way we get that nice curve towards our eyes. Yeah, there we go. One of those subtle things, but I notice it in motion. Not always when it's static, but definitely when it's in motion. And here I want to try to smooth out the gradient on her cheek a little bit more. It's not compressing quite as hard as it is on the left turns, but it is still a little bit since she's looking up. So it gets a little bit, her cheeks are a little bit smaller appearing than they were in just the normal default looking forward stance. Alright, now I'm focusing on getting the shadows around her nose right again. I have most of them in the right place, but there is just this little slight dark area around the side that I didn't have. And so now I'm making sure that that's in there, and then I can get the shape of the cheek right through here just a little bit better than it currently is. There we go. I might be able to make it graded a little bit more. I think I will try, but let me make sure that things are at least in good spots here. Yeah, I can even stand to make it a little bit higher up. But I think that is good. So let's try to make these gradients nice. We're just gonna slide like all of this way up there over her eyes and everything. Mesh is gonna get everywhere. Alright. There we go. That's so much better. The vertices demand their personal space. And yeah, I think that shadow right there is a little piece that's supposed to go kind of underneath the nose. I'm gonna have to be way more careful about how I split shadows like this in the future. Oh my. Let's see, I'm just trying to get the angle around the nose looking a little bit better here. Might consult the mesh on this one. Yeah, because there's something here just making her cheeks look really weird, and I don't like it. So I want to try to fix that up before I stop for today. Okay, that would do it. Whoop. Okay. Look, sometimes it just takes 30 seconds of consulting the mesh to find all the problems, but I forgot that I had... This is like another row of vertices here. I forgot that it was supposed to look like that. And I can safely pull these over here and try to get that shape good. Yeah, now everything is looking much more spread out and nice. It still looks a little bit strange to me. Yeah, I still see a little bit of strangeness, so... More mesh consulting time. Let's go. This time I want to compare it to the top turn. Okay. So most of these need to come further up. Let's actually grab the brush for that. I'm just gonna really pull all these things upward. Did not want to click off the mesh. I'm still consulting it. Okay, too high. Alright, I think that looks okay. So, let's go let her swing her head around a bit. See how things look. Yeah, I think things are looking alright. She can move around, and I think those shadows are moving around quite well with her. Yay! Yay! Okay. So I think I can definitely be happy with that for today. And thus I will stop here. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I'll see you all tomorrow.